Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we are looking at Python, but not just as a standard coding language. We're looking at it as a massive, incredibly powerful ecosystem built on four distinct, highly specialized pillars. If you've ever found yourself wondering how developers actually go from staring at a blank screen to deploying real-world data-driven web applications, well, you're in the right place. We're going to break down a comprehensive, beginner-friendly tutorial to give you a really clear look at the absolute essentials. All right, let's dive right into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. NumPy, the math engine. 2. Pandas, the data organizer. 3. Flask, the web deliverer. 4. Matplotlib, the visual artist. And finally, 5. The masterpiece, where we build a real-world pipeline. So first up, number 1, NumPy, the math engine. NumPy is really the scientific computing foundation of the entire Python ecosystem. And its defining feature? Well, it's this pretty staggering number. NumPy operations can be up to 1,000 times faster than pure Python. Just think about that for a second. When you're dealing with millions of data points, your standard Python loops are going to drag your system to an absolute halt. But NumPy, it achieves this incredible C-level performance while totally maintaining Python's ease of use. Plus, it's backed by over 100 built-in mathematical functions, everything from linear algebra to fast Fourier transforms and random number generation. It is literally the ultimate combo of speed and simplicity. Now, to truly appreciate NumPy, you've got to understand its absolute superpower, which is broadcasting. So in traditional programming, if you want to multiply a list of, say, 1,000 numbers by 2, you have to write a loop that chugs through every single number one by one, and that is slow. But broadcasting allows NumPy to seamlessly scale numbers across rows or columns automatically. You literally just write array times 2, and NumPy instantly executes that calculation element-wise across the whole n-dimensional array, no matter how big it is. No slow loops, just pure, instant mathematical execution. Let's move on and see how this builds. Number 2, Pandas, the data organizer. If NumPy is the raw engine of our car, Pandas is the sophisticated steering wheel and dashboard sitting right on top of it. This is your ultimate workhorse for data analysis. You are going to hear the term data frame constantly in the Python world. So let's quickly demystify that jargon. A data frame is essentially just a highly supercharged spreadsheet living directly inside your code. It gives you a two-dimensional table with labeled rows and columns, which makes it amazingly intuitive to load, clean, and explore your data, whether that's coming from a CSV file, an Excel workbook, or wherever. This perfectly illustrates the magic. By taking a standard, kind of messy Python dictionary and passing it into Pandas, we instantly get this beautifully structured data frame. You can clearly see Alice, Bob, and Charlie, along with their ages and scores, all lined up. It literally gives raw data a highly organized, completely human-readable structure. And once your data is sitting in that data frame, manipulating it is incredibly simple. Just take a look at this punchy little line of code. By typing df and setting a quick condition where age is greater than 25, Pandas instantly filters the rows to find Alice and Bob. You absolutely do not need complex database software to do this stuff. You can group data, aggregate totals, even perform SQL-style merges right there in your Python script with a single line of text. It's a real game changer. Moving right along, number 3, Flask, the web deliverer. Okay, so we've got our math done and our data is beautifully organized, but it's completely stuck on our local computer, right? Enter Flask. This is a minimalist, super lightweight Python web framework designed specifically to get your data and logic out onto the internet. Notice this tiny block of text? That is literally all it takes to build a functioning web page. You import Flask, set a route to your homepage, and return a simple hello message. It's completely free of that annoying, unnecessary boilerplate code. You don't need a massive, heavy framework to start serving up web content. Flask's simple, extensible core gets you up and running in a matter of seconds. But hey, don't let its small size fool you. Flask really packs a punch. As we can see from these key features, it's an absolute powerhouse for modern web development. Whether you are building REST APIs and returning JSON responses for a front-end app, maybe integrating Jinja 2 templates for dynamic HTML, or using blueprints to scale your app into modular components, Flask handles the delivery effortlessly. It gives you the total freedom to build microservices or massive websites exactly the way you want to. Which brings us to our 4th pillar. Number 4, Matplotlib, the visual artist. So the crucial point here is that raw data and web servers are great, but numbers mean almost nothing if we humans can't easily visualize them. That's where this comes in. This exact bar chart tracking monthly sales was literally rendered directly from the Matplotlib source code in our materials. It proves how effortlessly you can map categories, like January through April, against your unit sales. With just a few simple lines of code to define your colors and labels, boom, you have a publication-ready graphic. And, bar charts are really just the beginning. This quick list showcases the sheer variety of visualizations Matplotlib offers. You've got line plots for tracking trends, scatter plots to hunt down hidden correlations, histograms for statistical distributions, and you can even combine them all into multi-panel subplots. By interacting with Matplotlib's core figure and axis objects, you are getting absolute pixel-perfect control over how your data is presented to the world. All right, the moment we've been waiting for. Number 5, the masterpiece, building a real-world pipeline. We've studied the individual tools, but the real magic of Python happens when they all collaborate. It's time to put all 4 tools into our tool belt and combine them into one cohesive sales analytics master script. In the real world, an analytics pipeline flows exactly through these 4 sequential steps. First, we use NumPy to generate our array data, simulating a year's worth of random monthly sales figures with absolute blistering speed. Second, we hand that raw array over to Pandas, structuring it into a data frame so we can easily filter for our top 3 performing months. Third, we pass that filtered data to Matplotlib to draw a beautiful, insightful chart. And finally, we wrap the whole shebang in a Flask route to deliver that chart directly to a web browser. In our source material, this entire workflow takes barely 25 lines of code to turn raw, random numbers into a highly polished web dashboard. It's pretty amazing. Now, for the beginners out there watching, you might be thinking, okay, this all looks amazing, but how do I actually get started? Well, it is remarkably easy. Bringing all these superpowers into your own local coding environment only requires this one single, simple command line installation. You just open your terminal, type pip install numpy pandas flask matplotlib, hit enter, and you instantly have a professional-grade analytics studio running right on your machine. Let's lock in everything we've talked about today with this quick reference guide. NumPy is for your scientific computing, powered by the end array. Pandas is your data analysis toolkit, revolving right around the data frame. Flask is your web framework, running via the Flask app. And Matplotlib handles your data visualization through its figure and axes objects. Remember, while each of these is incredibly powerful on its own, their true identity is an ecosystem. They work absolute wonders when you use them together. So we've explored the pillars, we've broken down the code, and we've built a real-world pipeline. The Python ecosystem is literally sitting right at your fingertips, ready to turn your ideas into reality. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. You have the tools. What will you build first? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and happy coding.